Cyril Ramaphosa is one of the most inconsiderate men I have ever seen in my life. I was so disgusted when I heard him spewing some of the worst kind of nonsense, even for the ANC.
In addition, tourists from Nigeria are now able to apply for a visa without even submitting a passport.
He has the audacity to say this after everything that has happened in this country, after everything we have all seen with our own eyes. He has shown how he does not care for the life of the average South African. Listen to this rubbish.
We look forward to seeing more Nigerian companies investing in South Africa. In fact, we want to see Nigerian products on the shelves of South African shops. Our efforts to create a favorable environment include our simplified visa process for Nigerian business people to travel to South Africa. Qualifying Nigerian business people can be granted a 5-year multiple entry visa. In addition, tourists from Nigeria are now able to apply for a visa without even submitting a passport.
It was this year that we saw Chidima Adetshina almost usurp the Miss South Africa title using dodgy papers. Throughout the year 2024, just like many other years, we have seen our Nigerian brothers show no respect or love for our people. Time after time, we see them trade drugs on our streets and destroy the lives of South African boys and girls, our men and women. The drug dealers I know and see in my neighborhood are Nigerians. Everyone knows this to be a fact. There are countries that have tried to be nice to Nigerians only to reverse their decisions after seeing the effect of being nice to this country and its citizens.
Members of the Parliamentary Committee on Foreign Affairs have raised concern of what they say are inefficiencies in the passport office of the Immigration Directorate in the Ministry of Internal Affairs. The MPs who recently visited Uganda's foreign mission in Asia and United Arab Emirates on matters of accountability said in China, the police have arrested 9 Nigerians for alleged criminal activities, including illegally holding Ugandan passports.
And the concern was also again sounded by the Ugandans in the diaspora, the way non-Ugandans are acquiring passports. And we found that about 9 non-Ugandans of Nigerian origin had our passports.
But what we're saying, how do these people get passports? That's the only issue. They get passports illegally and in bulk.
This is not xenophobia. It is not xenophobic to mention that the bad Nigerians have created a bad reputation for the rest of the Nigerians. It doesn't matter anymore that they are also good Nigerians. My experience has been that they are too far in between. These are people who are brutal in their business practices, remorseless and destructive in their pursuit of money. Look at the damage that they've brought into our country without visa requirements being relaxed for them. Now imagine how much worse it will be with relaxed requirements. Ronald Lamola was interviewed and asked to clarify what the president was trying to say regarding the issue of not submitting passports, and this is what he said.
The president was speaking about there's no longer a requirement for passports if you apply for this tourist visa. What does it mean?
Yes, and that's what I clarified earlier on, Adrian, that is the initial stage of the application for a visa. For example, as I've said, if you do it online, it may be difficult to submit the passport. But once the visa process has been approved, your visa used, there is still a requirement for the tourists to submit the passport in our mission there in Nigeria, to then be able to be the passport to be stamped with the visa and for the person to then travel. The president was speaking of largely the process and what informs this aspect. Therefore, we are providing the details of that, and I believe also Home Affairs will be able to further clarify and give certainty to the travelers from Nigeria.
What kind of a dull answer is that? Why would it be difficult to submit a passport online? Why? You scan your passport and send through the PDF of your scanned passport. We then have to take that submitted scan and verify that it is a legitimate passport. What is so difficult about submitting a passport when applying online? Seriously, imagine the logic. We have to process the visa and approve it for you before you submit the passport. How does it make sense to go through the work, like all the work, and then at the final moment ask for the passport? Guys, do you see what I mean when I say that the country is being run by fools, crooks, and degenerates? President Cyril Ramaphosa and his cronies are clearly very, very sick. The way I see it, this is about some other dirty deals going on underground. There is no way that Cyril Ramaphosa and the ANC do not know that South Africans are unhappy about the Nigerian problem in this country. There is no way. Who does not know that Nigeria has been behind the rise in drug circulation since 1994? We did a video on this, so please watch it if you haven't already. And while you're at it, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, like and share with other citizens.
Also, travelers from our country seem to Nigeria, which we continue to encourage, because we want to see more of people-to-people interaction between the two countries. The people-to-people interaction has been also excellent between the two countries.
This ANC talking head even says that the people-to-people interactions between our two countries have been excellent. Where? Where is he talking about? Who is he talking about? Our people are tired of Nigerians here. They want to see Nigerians interacting more with South Africa. The same nation that has rotten our country with drugs and corruption. That one. That's the one you're embracing even more. Meanwhile, when South Africa messes up in other countries, it is banned. So anyway, what is the media from Nigeria believing this to be? Let's listen.
Nigeria and South Africa have agreed to finalize a 5-year-old memorandum of understanding on an early warning mechanism to monitor and prevent violence, as well as criminal acts involving nationals from both countries. The MOU, aimed at addressing past attacks on Nigerians in South Africa, will be signed by March of 2025.
Turns out the Nigerians believe this is an agreement signed to address past attacks on Nigeria. By the way, we listened to this entire video and guess what? There was no mention of Nigerians dealing drugs. These journalists from Nigeria won't acknowledge that maybe, just maybe, their relatives in South Africa might be getting in trouble because of something real. Apparently, Nigerians have suffered at the hands of South Africans.
It's deficit that has brought up this early warning system, because Nigerians have suffered a lot in South Africa, particularly traders, because most of the things that Nigerians do in South Africa and most of African countries is trading. And we have been embarrassed, harassed, even sometimes killed unnecessarily. So it's a timely intervention. And it is an action in the right direction so that Nigerians can be free to move and make their ends meet in South Africa.
I mean, really? You can't make this stuff up, guys. Nigerians have suffered, meanwhile our people are addicted to drugs. But hey, Nigerians have suffered. They even call them traitors. The media this side is telling us a softer version of whatever it is Cyril is signing over there. There's clearly mixed messaging here. Think about this. South Africa had good relations with countries like Ireland and Britain. South Africa was allowed to enter Britain and many other countries without needing a visa. Visa-free entry into Britain and Ireland was a thing. Many Nigerians and other nationals saw this as a nice opportunity. They either married South African girls on paper and got ID documents which allowed them to get passports, or they did it the simpler way. They simply bribed the foolish and greedy immigration officials from Home Affairs and got fresh South African passports. Britain warned South Africa about this, and yet South Africa didn't fix it. And South Africa now needs visas to enter Britain.
So as of today, South Africans travelling to Ireland on holiday, business or to study must apply for tourist visas as they would for any other destination in the Sandown region or the United Kingdom. This means travellers from South Africa and Botswana, once exempt from this formality, must now make appointments via a local agency, submit comprehensive paperwork and pay fees to both the agency and the Irish consulate.
This is not primarily because of South Africans travelling there. It is because of the ANC's failure and because of the foreigners who take advantage of our poor security. They bribe their way into getting new passports. They leave the country and taint the South African name overseas.
Immigration officer Carrie McVeigh and her team are at the address of a man they believe has overstayed his visa by more than a year.
So I can't see you standing there. Open the door now.
The target today is a man named John Moses.
Hi there.
It's immigration. If you just want to order me, please.
Have a chat with you, okay? Okay, what's your name, sir?
My name is Olatunde.
Olatunde.
Olatunde Ishola.
And your date of birth?
26. 26 of
26 of what? What month? You're not giving me a date of birth. Can you sit down for me? Sit down.
No, I just want to tell you.
Who's that person? Mr. John Moses.
That's my uncle.
That's your uncle?
Yeah.
And where is your uncle at the moment?
She's not around. I mean, he's not around.
He's not around. You sure it's not you?
No, it's my uncle.
Alright, okay.
Meanwhile, the ANC is made up of cowards and greedy people who are too scared to call Nigeria to order, to deport Nigerians or put the interests of us, the citizens, above their friendliness with foreign leaders.
Are you going to give me a date of birth, Olatunde?
I don't know because I don't.
Okay, have you got a passport?
My house. Eh?
Passport?
Sorry?
Do you have your passport in this address?
I lost my passport.
You lost your passport. Have you got a photocopy? Any identification whatsoever?
Identification? I lost my passport.
Right, can you just listen to me just now, Olatunde, okay? I'm arresting you as a suspected immigration offender. You're now under arrest.
He claims to have no form of ID, something the enforcement team have heard many times before.
Nigerians don't just do this in South Africa. They will do it in any country they end up in. They will rot it and take.
A valid document will confirm if he's telling the truth or not.
Oh. Okay, we've now found a South African passport with the gentleman that we have arrested's photograph in it and the name Patrick Agbo, but I believe that passport's not genuine. He's told us he's from Nigeria and his photograph is now in a South African passport, and now we have evidence that the gentleman we have arrested has been using the name Patrick Agbo. May not be his real name, but we know he's been using it.
Yes?
It's not my own.
That's not yours. I'll remind you that you're under arrest, okay? You're under caution, so anything you do say will be noted and may be used in evidence, okay? So I'm going to ask you now, is this your passport?
It's not my passport.
It has your picture in it.
It's not me.
That is your picture.
It's not my picture. That is not my passport. I'm not the one inside. I'm not the one outside.
Can I just maybe point out that you do have a marking on your face which is also present in this picture?
It's not me. It's not me.
You're telling me that's not your picture when I can see that it is. I know you don't come from South Africa, but you're in possession. You're in possession of a South African passport, and I need to know why you've got it. Okay?
From John Moses to Olatunde, then now he's Patrick Agbo, a South African. Do we have any Agbos in South Africa? Which tribe are they from? Zulu, Sotho. Somewhere in South Africa is an ANC minister or a Home Affairs official who got 10,000 or 5,000 to allow for this man to get his South African passport. Once he got his papers, off he went to destroy another country.
A lot of people we encounter do have various identities. It's easier for them to get benefits or medical aid under another name.
I don't get benefit from you.
I'm not saying you, I'm saying a lot of people we encounter, once they exhaust one name and they're still trying to stay in the country illegally, they'll just try to adopt another name, start using that.
Where are you from?
Huh?
Where are you from?
You have my passport.
I said, where are you from?
I'm from Nigeria.
From what city in Nigeria?
From Enugu City.
And why do you have all these drugs in your apartment?
Listen to me, I don't have them. I have my goods.
You lie, you lie!
I cannot lie for you, my brother. I cannot lie. I used to make my good business in Thailand. Only little did I know that they gave me problem. That led me into this. But I'm sorry, I will never repeat it again. I will never repeat it again. Please, please.
The drugs are in your pocket.
Yeah, they are in my pocket.
This is a very large amount of ice.
I'm sorry.
Guys, I can tell you right now, if this passes, there will be a serious takeover of everything that you thought you could put your hands on. It's not a nice thing to say this, but again, facts first, cry later. South Africans are known for being lazy, uninformed, and honestly, not wealthy. South Africans are very much spoilt and docile in matters regarding business, economics, or even history. Cyril Ramaphosa doing this will allow the influx of people hungrier and more driven than South Africans. These are people who will bribe their way into anything. That is one of the reasons why you see that our institutions have become so untrustworthy. If this has not stopped, within a short time, Nigerians will own more land than South Africans. Nigerians will own more business properties than South Africans. I mean, they are already landlords in many properties in South Africa. How do you expect normal citizens to compete with drug money? Drug money has been buying houses and building flats to rent out to South Africans. Drug money has been used to buy ID cards.
There's a Nigerian based in Cape Town. He owns 800 RDP houses. Our people are paying rent to him. Now, you must tell me, what type of government do we have? There's others here. When I campaign, when you go to Terfontein, our people are renting houses from Nigerians. What type of government do we have?
But clearly that's a policing issue as well.
No, it's a leadership issue. It's a leadership issue. If you are not leading for the police to do what's right, then you're going to have a problem.
Yeah.
I went with the MMC of Public Safety last week, Saturday, to Hillbrow and to UV. People are renting from Nigerians. A guy said there's a Congolese guy who comes here once a month to collect money for rent. And at the back of that house, they're selling drugs.
Sure.
And you say, our government knows these hotspots.
With what happened with Chidima, you would expect President Cyril Ramaphosa to actually use his head to think about the country of his people. Men like Cyril Ramaphosa will sacrifice all their people and their family for selfish interests. We saw it during the Marikana days. You remember concomitant action? Even the Phala matter shows us that he lacks morals and decency. American currency entered South Africa without being declared. It was either smuggled into the country or it was simply carried using those VIP diplomatic tapes they put on politician bags to avoid being searched. Similar to what we saw Zimbabwean officials do on the Gold Mafia documentary. Cyril Ramaphosa is not a poor man, mind you. With loads of money in his name, he is still willing to squeeze even harder just to be a few bucks richer. That Phala money was supposed to have been taxed. It wasn't. The taxes could have gone to the government to help build our country, but even with his presidential job and many other holdings and investments, he can't bring himself to do the right thing. paying taxes like all of us. He just cannot do with parting with money. That is the mindset of Cyril Ramaphosa. When you think of that, you realize that this announcement regarding Nigerians, it's actually within character. He's clearly doing exactly what he's good at, not giving a damn about his own people. Cyril Ramaphosa has done virtually nothing for the people in his time as president. I mean, if you think about it, there is nothing that he has done for us. If and when he takes action, it is after weeks or months of citizens complaining about a matter on social media. Sometimes even in the midst of the complaints from his citizens, he remains quiet as if he doesn't exist. Oh, but when it is time to make nonsensical deals with Nigeria, he regains his voice. How do you approve people's visas without a passport? Even worse, Nigerians. The GNU members need to speak out now about this. Gayton McKenzie, Peter Groenewald, Velinkosi Hlabisa, Leon Schreiber, and the rest. Show us that you are there for the people. These are the issues you need to come out and say where you stand. Speak up more and more. Anyways, that's it for today. Fellow citizens, with everything that the ANC has shown you, how do you still vote for them and their babies? After they've made it clear that they do not care about South Africans as much as they care about themselves and their friends in other nations, how do they still deserve a vote from you? Just so it's clear, we don't hate Nigerians. We just love our country more. We do hate a lot of their culture though. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. I'm Katlego. This is Citizen Concerned. And until next time, beware of the comrades.